Before there was Russia, before there was Ukraine as we know it today, there was a land of endless steppes, mighty rivers and warrior cultures that would shape Eastern Europe for centuries to come. This is the story of how Scandinavian Vikings, Slavic tribes, and nomadic horsemen created one of medieval Europe's most powerful states, and how that legacy became the foundation of modern Ukraine. This was a land of vast grasslands stretching from the Black Sea to the forests of the north, the Pontic-Caspian steppe. For millennia, it had been the domain of nomadic peoples, Scythians, Sarmatians, and others of Iranian origin, and in the north, those whom the Romans called the Venedi. Though not given much heed by the great civilizations of their time, these peoples were most likely the founders of all Slavic people. As the Roman Empire crumbled, the Huns and Germanic peoples also migrated into this land. Over the years, the Slavs expanded in all directions. They broke into various tribes. Some moved into the Balkans and became the forebears of the South Slavs. Some went west, into lands dominated by the Avars, and became the predecessors of the Western Slavs. Some tribes went east. These peoples expanded into modern-day Ukraine, Belarus, and central western Russia, intermixing with the Balts and other clans. By 750 AD, they held lands from Lake Ladoga in the north to the Black Sea in the south. Language bound them, but they were not united. Numerous tribes ruled on the basis of kinship. They settled along rivers and lakes where water was abundant. At the turn of the 9th century, things would change. In the north, something was stirring. The Scandinavian winter was brutal that year. Food and grain were scarce, pushing the Norsemen to seek new places. Most went west, where the English would know them as Vikings. But this is the story of those who came south. They boarded their longboats, sailed through the Baltic Sea, and then onto the crucial waterways of the Dnieper and the Volga. Along these rivers they encountered tribes like the Bulgars and the Khazars, with whom they traded. Continuing south along the Dnieper, they reached the Black Sea and even attacked the capital of the mighty Eastern Roman Empire, Constantinople. One theory holds that the words Varangians or Rus were used to refer to these Scandinavians. Another says Rus was actually of Slavic origin. According to the primary chronicle, historical literature of the Kievan Rus, the story goes like this. Around 862, Slavic and Finnic tribes revolted against their Varangian overlords and drove them out. But without strong leadership, the tribes descended into chaos. So they made a remarkable decision. They invited the Vikings back. A chieftain named Rurik answered the call, establishing his capital at Novgorod. Rurik died in 879 and rule passed to Oleg. Oleg, a Viking warrior, turned his gaze to the great Khaganate to the south, the Khazars. He united the tribes of the north, raised a large army of Norse, Finnic and Slavic warriors, and sailed. Oleg went down the Dnieper in 882, seizing the towns of Smolensk and Lubeck. He reached an ancient outpost, then a vassal of the Khazars, Kiev. It was ruled by the Vikings Askold and Deer. Pretending to be a merchant envoy, Oleg asked to meet with them. When Askold and Deer came out to meet him, Oleg revealed he was acting on behalf of Rurik's heir, Igor of Kiev, and accused them of ruling Kiev without legitimate claim. Oleg's forces ambushed them, who were killed thereafter. Oleg took Kiev and declared, "Let it be the mother of Rus's cities." The Kievan Rus was born, uniting northern and southern Ruses under one power. Oleg moved his capital from Novgorod to Kiev. He now had complete control over trade routes from the Baltic to the Black Sea, allowing merchants to travel from Scandinavia all the way down to Constantinople. Descendants of Rurik ruled as princes of the Rurikid dynasty. Soon, all the tribes of the Kievan realm, whether Slavic or Nordic, simply came to be known as the people of the Rus. The majority spoke Old East Slavic, from which modern Russian, Ukrainian, and Belarusian languages stem. In Part 2, we will continue the tale into the golden age of Kievan Rus, the Mongol attacks, and the beginnings of the famous Cossacks. If you like our videos, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss Part 2. Thanks for watching.